Are you buying real estate in 2023? Here are 7 things that you need to know if you're gonna look into buying real estate this year. We're gonna go into each step one by one, so get a notepad, get a pencil, and take some notes, and stick around for the end of the video. I'm going to give you my market interpretation and prediction. I'm Drew Ferris. I'm born and raised here in San Diego. I've been a licensed realtor for the last 5 years in the San Diego area, but before that, I was an NFL long snapper. I was playing football. I worked out for a few teams. I played in a few games. Now I'm here servicing buyers and sellers in the San Diego area, helping them achieve their dreams. If you want to hear more, please subscribe to my channel, and I've got videos coming out like this weekly, and we're gonna have tons of information, a lot of videos, a lot of content for you guys to eat up. Back to the 7 things that you need to know about buying a home in 2023. Let's dive into the first one. Interest rates have a massive impact on the cost of buying a home and the price that you're willing to pay. Interest rates 2 years ago were probably around, 2.5%, 3% versus where they are today, which is probably somewhere around the 5.5%, 6%. So the difference in the 2021 versus 2023 is the massive amount of interest that you're paying in your monthly payment, which is going to affect home prices and what you're willing to pay and what you can afford. Number 2, home prices. Home prices vary across San Diego, okay? You have to look at the micro markets in your neighborhood and in your area to get an idea of what's going on, okay? Are you west of the 5? Are you east of the 5? Are you in a gated community? Do you have an HOA? Do you have a Melrose? Are you close to the road? Because that will heavily affect what a buyer is willing to pay and what you're willing to pay here and across the county. That's why it's massively important to get with a real estate expert who knows the market, who can provide this information for you, so you're knowledgeable and you have access to these numbers so you know what's going on in the marketplace. Number 3, inventory. Inventory throughout the county has been down since COVID has hit, which is caused by a decrease in the amount of new construction homes, as well as people working from home and not having to take that job up in San Francisco or in LA or in Silicon Valley or wherever they're going. So that's why it's important to have a wide range of areas that you're considering so you can increase the amount of potential homes that will suit you. Number 4, financing. Guys, this is a massive one, okay? Knowing what you can afford by being pre-approved before you start this process is massively important, because then you know where to focus your efforts as well as your agent's effort to look for property and to go spend time setting up showings and to walk through homes. You do not want to walk through a home that you can't afford. So the thing you should do is sit down with a mortgage broker, and that mortgage broker is going to tell you what they're willing to lend you. And everyone says, well, how do they determine that number, right? And that number is determined by a few factors. Number 1, how much money are you putting down as a down payment? Number 2, what does your debt to income look like? How much money do you make as income versus how much money you owe? How much money is your car cost? How much money are you spending on anything you're renting, any like furniture you're renting, or any sort of items that you have that are on your debt column? A lender wants to see that. Number 3 would be the taxes that you have paid or you still currently owe. Okay, so all of those factors that I mentioned are going to determine what a lender is willing to lend you up to a certain purchase price and how much of a risk you are to an investor who's going to buy that loan. Number 5, professional help. If you're a buyer looking to buy in this market, I'll tell you why you should work with an agent, and I'll tell you why you should work with me. Number 1, I know these areas, I know these prices that buyers are willing to pay, and I can help you navigate the market. Number 2 is I can help you structure an offer that will keep your contingencies in place and help you understand from start to finish what the expectations are, what you need to know, what you need to sign. Okay, and number 3 is I'm gonna help you stay in budget. Okay, we're gonna come up with a plan, we're gonna lay out the properties, and we're gonna see what fits your needs, what fits your family's needs, and what fits your budget. Number 6, the home inspection, okay? It's extremely important to have a general home inspection done as soon as you open escrow. Day 1, your agent should have a home inspector that he knows. Order the home inspection, get it done, you get that report back in a PDF form, and you get to see all the current and potential long-term problems or health of the property that need to be addressed. Once you know these issues of the property, then you can use that for negotiation. When you go and negotiate repairs, you can either have the seller do it before the close of escrow, you can either get a credit towards your closing costs. There's a few ways you can structure those repairs to get done. And that way, number one, you know what's wrong with your property and you know what needs to be done for health and safety concerns. And then number two is using it for negotiations to get you a better deal. Number 7, have a plan. Hint, discuss this with your agent. Your agent has most likely done this a few dozen times, so lean on them to formulate a plan to help split your wants versus what your needs are. How many bedrooms and bathrooms and square footage that you might need, okay? Also formulate a budget in place, how much you're willing to spend, how much you can afford. And when an architect has a blueprint, then they can go build the house. Once you have a plan in place, then you can go find the house. I am here on the MLS. For those of you who don't know, this is the multiple listing search. This is specific to all agents for us to research property and see what's going on in the market. I have pre-set up a search for us. We are going to look at single family homes, SFR, in the 92009 zip code, active, under contract, pending, or an escrow, and sold. And I've put in a price point here. We're going to look at properties between $1 million and $2.5 million, and then right down here, close date 30 days back. It's really important to look at recent comps, all right, especially with the volatility in the rates and the volatility of the market lately. Looking back 30 days to get a snapshot of what's actually going on. So I'm going to click search here. It's going to take us to all right, a link of listings. So we have 24 properties here total. We have 11 active and 13 solds. So the first thing I want to look at is these numbers up top. Okay, it says list price and sold price, high, low, average, median, total price. All right, so let's take a look at the median here, list price. Okay, so 1,570,000 versus what's actually sold, 1,550,000. That percent change is roughly about 1.7% difference between list prices and sold prices, okay? But I also want to dive deep quickly into a few numbers here that you should look at when you're looking at property and you're evaluating a market that you're interested in. We're going to look at solds, okay? Number one, sold property is what the market's actually doing. Buyers have spoken, okay? Sold properties are the number one way to comp a property, is looking at what the neighborhood's doing, what buyers are paying. That's to give you a really good idea what your home is actually worth, okay? So looking at some properties here, you can see DOM, okay? That's one thing I like to look at, days on market. The average days on market here up top is 29 days, okay? The high is 86 days, that's an eternity, okay? So if we look at properties that sat for a while, okay, on the market, let's take a look at, let's take a look at, which one did I really want to point out? Actually, this one right here, the one that's 3117 Quebrada Court, okay? So if I click on this property and I look up top and I look at original list price, 2195, over 2 months on the market, closed price 1.88 million. So you can see a pretty vast gap between their list price and what they actually ended up selling for. Okay, but if you look at, let's say, this property right here, 6221 Village Green Drive, it was on the market for 4 days, okay, and it sold for list price, okay? So when people talk about list price versus sold price, okay, or list prices are gone down tremendously. It's all about sold prices, and you can see here this property was priced accurately. It sold very quickly, and it sold for exactly right on the dot, list price. So back to what I'm trying to tell you guys is, if the price is right, buyers are paying, buyers are putting pen to paper, and properties are getting sold. If the price is not right, it will sit for over 2 months and it will eventually settle itself, and a motivated seller will sell for what it's worth. Some sellers just take their property off the market if they're disappointed for what they're getting.
So now back to my prediction of the market. You know, if I had a crystal ball, I wouldn't be here. I'd be somewhere on an island and you'd never see me again, but I don't. But what I think is gonna happen moving forward in 2023 is I still think the demand will be there throughout the entire year. Buyers are still looking. People say demand has gone down. Demand has not gone down. Affordability has gone down and willingness to pay has changed. So if you're looking to buy or sell, this is something that you really need to know, is that buyers do want to buy your home. There are buyers out there. My listings get multiple calls on them, multiple showings, and then eventually, whether you listed too high or you're listed below what it's worth, it will eventually always sell for market price, what a buyer is willing to pay. So depends on your patience, and it depends on your willingness to sell for a seller, and for a buyer, just keep looking, keep writing offers. Don't get discouraged, okay? And people talk about rates all the time in this business. Rates will always fluctuate and change. So as a buyer, if you really like something, I'd say go for it. And go find that dream home of yours and don't give up. So thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have anything to add, please comment below and like and subscribe for more videos that will be coming in the future to add on to some of these topics that we discussed today. And if you're looking to buy or sell here in San Diego, please give me a call, text, DM, reach out to me. Love to be a resource for you.